Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of all ages, welcome to the Zone Collectibles and More. Nestled in the historic heart of downtown Tifton on Main Street, we are the Zone. My name's Kevin. I'm the resident RM at the Zone, and thank you for tuning in to our community videos. The process of these videos is to take local collectors, enthusiasts of all sorts of fandoms, bring them on in, and let them tell you why they enjoy what they enjoy. Kind of allow them to share their passion so that maybe it sparks you into trying something different, checking out something different on YouTube. Maybe it's going to be a game. Maybe it's going to be a hobby. Today's video is focusing on the fandom of Doctor Who. And please introduce yourself.
My name is Megan Clements, and I'm a Doctor Who addict.
Very good. I like that. I want to ask a question so bad, but it's not time yet. See, I have these things. So I'm gonna hold on to that. What drew you to Doctor Who, and what was your first memory that helped you find your place in the Whoverse? What got you hooked?
I remember watching Doctor Who very young age with my grandfather, and it didn't really stick with me that I was going to absolutely love this show with everything, but at the time it was just something to do with my grandfather on the weekends. And it was later on when I was in high school, I'd caught an episode of it and I was like, I remember watching this, and it just became...
So it was a little bit of the heartstrings, kind of,
yes.
to hook you into that point.
Absolutely. And it just took me away to a different world. And
okay, is it the adventure? Is it the science? Is it the relationship between your doctor and a companion? Is it the intrigue? Is it the blue box?
of course it's the blue
The
box.
blue box. See, the blue box. That's why I don't understand why anybody worries about Doctor Who, because after all, it ain't nothing to do with all this. It all has to do with the blue box. Who cares what doctor it is, how many doctors it is? It's the Doctor Who blue box show. Excellent. All right, now, going beyond the blue box. This is where we kind of put you in the hot seat. We've got a few questions we're going to fire at you. You will not be graded at the end, so do not hesitate.
Okay.
Who is your favorite Doctor? Go.
10.
10. Okay. Why?
He was the most relatable of all the doctors. He was the most human. He had the most compassion. And I think it's because after the transition from 9 to 10, 9 had just got through with the Time War and all of that, and then 10 started seeing how
The repercussions.
Yes. And he was so relatable.
Very good. Who was your favorite companion? Go.
I have 2.
You have to. Wait a minute. The question is. Okay, I'll let you have 2.
Because one was only kind of a companion for a little bit.
Okay.
Captain Jack Harkness.
Okay. For all you folks out there that don't know Captain Jack, you got to learn about this character. They created a whole nother show just for him.
Yes.
I mean, and part of it, as the mythology of the show goes, they call it Torchwood because both men and women carried a torch for good old Jack. Anyway, I'm just saying. Okay, then who is the other?
Torchwood is also an anagram of Doctor Who.
Yes, it is. Not many of us know that.
The other one, I'm inclined to say Rose just because she was 10's companion, but it's actually Clara, who was a companion for 11 and 12.
Okay, but why?
She was so smart. She was spunky. If the doctor told her to do something, if she set her mind that she wasn't going to do it, she wasn't going to do it. And she didn't care if it hurt his feelings. She knew it was the right thing to do. And she was just a strong, sassy, cute little spunky brunette, and
There
I
you
loved
go.
her.
Pretty cut and dry. Now, this is going to be interesting. Go back to the time with your grandfather and go back to, all of the rest of the Doctor Who's that you have seen.
Okay.
What is your favorite story arc and why? And while she's thinking about that, if you all don't know Doctor Who, it's not just one episode, good hello, goodbye, you're done. They did arcs. They did where sometimes it was relatable in 2, 3, 4 episodes was how it was written because it just all wouldn't fit in one episode. And Doctor Who has almost always been, other than a few things we're going to forget like TV movies, yay America. It was one of those things where it was supposed to be episodic. You were supposed to get involved. You were supposed to get involved with the Doctor and the companions and the problems that the people they were trying to help, and even get in to find sympathy for those who maybe were villains, but were they? Anyway, back to your favorite story arc.
Story arc. I'm going to go with the Day of the Doctor episode when you have 11, 10, and the War Doctor all together to try and save Gallifrey.
Gallifrey. Now, these are the people, anyway, you'll have to do your research. Why why a doctor would want to save Gallifrey with everything they put this poor, multiple generations of this man through, I have no idea. But it goes to show his character, really.
Exactly.
It goes to show that deep down, even for someone who's gotten kicked like a dog, community still meant something to him.
It did.
But now, we're going to turn the tables. Who is your favorite villain of Doctor Who and why?
All right. Well, you've got the Daleks. The Cybermen are scary. They're humans that have lost their humanity and turned into robots.
AI.
I'm going to go with the Weeping Angels.
Yes, they are horrifying. The Weeping Angels are terrifying.
They really are.
You'll have to do some research, but imagine every time you're talking to someone, like when we're talking, and then you go back and you look at them and they've moved. Because you looked away, went and did something else, or come in closer, or have their hands and you're like, and you blink and they're a little bit, and then, it's horrifying.
They're silent, they make no noise, and
this is true.
Absolutely terrifying.
And, the other thing, it seems to be a theme that some of your better shows, like even Buffy, used the quiet men,
yes.
The silent men who, took everybody's voice away, and you had to draw on a whiteboard to communicate and that kind of thing. The essence, sometimes you can say so much more with silence than with a horrifying scream queen scream.
Yes.
So, now, this is a question where a lot of people are on usually one side of the fence or the other. Do you enjoy episodes more, or do you enjoy the expanded universe, like via books, audio dramas, which are canon, and comics?
I actually enjoy all of it. I love all of it. The audio dramas are good because many of them are narrated by the actors who play the Doctors. The comics are always fun because then there's so many crossovers. There's like with Star Trek, and I love that. That was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. Not saying we should do it, but sometimes when they do it, it's a good thing. But
but I do love the TV show because you do have that visual and you can escape for an hour or so.
Okay, now with that being said, and this in the age of streaming, it's not on the card, by the way, so we're just gonna throw that away. Are you one who waits week by week for a new episode, or do you just hold off until you can have a couple of days and just binge it?
If I watch one episode, like the new season comes out, I'll watch the first episode. If it hooks me, I'm watching it the next week. If I'm like kind of on the fence, I'll wait a couple weeks or so and watch the next one, and then if not, I'll just try to binge my way through it at the end.
There you go. Straight honest answer. That's what we're about here. You know, it's getting to know these folks, and it's not thinking that when you see some folks on YouTube that they're smarter than you, they're more sophisticated than you. We all have the same thoughts. Some folks just don't have the courage to actually give a real answer. And that's what we've given you today. You know, fan on fan. That's just the way it is. That's what we're here for. Wasn't that fun?
A blast.
A blast. But now it's time to get a little bit serious, because we have a community out there who's watching us, hopefully, you know, and if not, it's just us chilling, which is fine too.
That's awesome too.
What advice do you have for someone who wants to get into the Whoverse? And if you have a significant other who may or may not be interested, what sort of a hook can you use to, let's say, at least try to get them engaged?
All right. Well, advice for somebody: don't watch the movie. Dive in with any doctor, but start on their beginning episode. They're fun. You fall in love with the characters, the companions, the villains even. The Master is actually one of my favorite villains, but I don't really consider him a villain, so he's actually one of my favorite characters.
The Master, for those of you out there in the fandom, let's try to relate it. Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor,
it's a really good comparison.
you know, he's not necessarily bad. He has his own agenda, and he sees things the way that he thinks they should ought to be. That's pretty much the Master in a nutshell.
It is.
He's got what he thinks about Gallifrey, which is, it speaks about. They did a book. I had a book over there about what he thinks. The Master thinks about Gallifrey, but that's
yeah,
very good.
I say,
you know?
dive in and enjoy yourself, and there will be many questions, and the internet is there to help.
Okay, and what about your other half? If they're per se, not your other half, because we wouldn't put someone who would be off camera slightly, who may have been in another video, we wouldn't necessarily put them on the spot. This is all like, you know, way Doctor Who type out there.
Of course. I would use Amy Pond, played by Karen Gillan, to get them to watch a couple episodes and see how they like it.
If one must watch Doctor Who,
of course,
that is not a bad way to do it at all. With that being said, do you find more that it was your first experience when you actually got a chance to understand the show, for you would arrange your favorite doctors, or because you watched your first Doctor with your grandpa, is that the first Doctor who's in your heart because of that tie? Because a lot of people, the first time they actually watch Doctor Who, the Doctor that they see first is usually the one that's their favorite. But seeing as how you had a hiatus, what would you?
I would say once I was older and was able to actually understand the show, because it does go into some deep stories that expand over seasons, and it was when I was older.
Older. Very good. All right. Now, in this day of streaming content, YouTube, Facebook, you can add any other extensions you possibly want. What the fans want to know is, what do you have as far as a favorite content creator, or maybe a favorite website that you count on?
I do have a favorite Facebook group page. It's called Doctor Who and the TARDIS.
That's the blue box. We'll get back to that later.
Yes. Every member of that group they're so friendly. If you comment on something, if you're having a bad day, you can post on that page, and it's one of the best communities as far as everybody helping each other. And I adore Stephen Moffat. His writing is brilliant. He should still be on the show. That's another story.
Yeah, there's politics don't only happen here in the United States. Just to let you know, it's a worldwide, really kind of like. Now, that would actually be a timey-wimey thing. Politics in the world is a
Yes.
timey-wimey thing. Very good. Now, do you have your own social media channel, or are you trying to possibly plan one for the future?
I have an Instagram. I don't post much on it, but I'm always reachable on there if anybody wants to reach out and talk Doctor Who or have any questions about the show, because there will be many.
And what would that be for those folks? How do they get, because I can barely do this. I have my boy handle all the behind the scenes stuff. I didn't even get to pick my own phone, for which I'm recording on right now, which is a whole nother thing. But how do they get a hold of you on Instagram?
On Instagram, you can find me. It's Megatron Nicole. MEGATRONNICOLE.
Megatron. Alrighty, well, if this machine is going to cooperate with us for the 5th time, we're going to try to do our closing. Love technical difficulties. Basically, this is what our videos are for, is to get community involvement, to let you see the folks in the community that you see around the back issue bins or at the grocery store, and someone you can reach out and talk to about the fandoms that we all love. So what I would love, and have been trying to say for 5 takes now, so I do apologize if it doesn't have that heartfelt. We've done this so many times.
I'm telling you.
But what we want to do is thank everyone for watching.
Yes.
This has been me. I'm Kevin. I'm the resident RM here at the Zone, and this has been
Megan.
Wishing you a most enjoyable evening. Stay blessed, stay warm, stay safe, and enjoy the video. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Bye.